Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. Yes, I'm wearing the same outfit I have worn in 3 other videos, but it doesn't matter. I'm filming today and I don't want to change outfits, so we're just dealing with it. I filmed my September TBR and my summer wrap-up in the same outfit. You're gonna just deal with it, okay? We're talking about my fall TBR today. Now, in my head, September means fall. So it is September 1st, therefore it is fall. Yes, I'm wearing a dress. It doesn't matter, it's fall. So, I have a bunch of books on my TBR. It doesn't look like a lot in front of me, but that's because I don't have them all down here. But we're just gonna go through all the books that I would like to read in the next 3 months. If I don't get to them, that's fine. If I do get to them, that's great. So, let's just start. First off, we'll talk about our one, like, it might be a romance. I'm not really sure what it's about, but we've got Turtles All the Way Down by John Green. I have read 2 of his other books, really liked them. So I want to read this one now. I don't know what it's about. It's about a 16-year-old Aza never intended to pursue the mystery of fugitive billionaire Russell Pickett, but there's a $100,000 reward at stake. So, it sounds interesting. And this is one of my books. It's also, the colors are really cool and like orange and peachy. So, that one is on the TBR. And then we're gonna go into our romances for a minute. I don't have that many. Yeah, I don't have that many, I don't think. First off, we have A Novel Love Story by Ashley Poston. It says whimsical, romantic, and packed with charm, which does give fall cozy vibes. It's also set in a small town, and so that's kind of cozy vibes. This is about a character who I don't know what she is. I don't know. But basically, she's driving. She ends up in a small town from a book, like literally from a book. And she meets this dude who, I think he runs a romance store, I'm not sure. But this dude who lives in the town who's grumpy, and she's sunshine, and they get together. And it's cute from what I've heard. I love all of her books, so I'm hoping I'm gonna like this one too. Also, the colors are so like poppy. That is the first romance on our TBR. This is the only romance that is fall themed. This is The Ex-Hex by Erin Sterling. I have started this book before and never finished it. It's not that long of a book. It's only 200 something pages. I would like to read The Kiss Curse too, but I don't own it, so we just have The Ex-Hex. This is about basically there's 2 people who used to be in a relationship. He dumped her or whatever. She put a spell on him, a curse, if you will. And now he's back. And they gotta deal with this whole curse thing together, I guess. But from what I've read so far, it was really cute. And now we get to go farther into the cuteness. We're gonna go through these books pretty fast, just because I don't want this video to be forever long. Then we have this big boy. I would love to read this whole series. However, I only own the first one, and I do want to buy them in the other covers because they don't sell this cover anymore. But this is Binding 13 by Chloe Walsh. It's the first book in the Boys of Tommen series, and this one is about Johnny and Shannon. Shannon is bullied at her school, so they transfer her to a new school where she ends up meeting Johnny. They don't run into each other. No, a rugby ball. So that whole thing happens, and he's a star rugby player, meant to go professional. She is just a quiet, shy girl, and there's a lot of trauma in this book. There's a lot of talk of bad, scary things. So I've heard it's a great book. I've read 100 pages of it already, but I need to restart and just read the whole thing. So yeah, reading that. So a whole year later. Then we have Crossing Perry. This is a Probably Smut special edition that I own, but is about, but I've heard it's a small town. All of our books are small town. It's the Haven River Ranch series. It's a small town, cozy little romance. I don't know who it's about. It looks like it jumps back and forth between times, so that's interesting. Together. It has mountains on the cover though, which gave me fall vibes. That's the only reason I picked it. Then we have the Bromance Book Club by Alyssa K. Adams. I own this one, and then I own the Christmas book in this series. So I would love to read the whole series up to the Christmas book before Christmas. That is the goal. But this is about a group of men who live in, I think it's Nashville. They live together, they live somewhere. and they all decide to start a romance book club because they want to learn how to be better spouses, boyfriends, whatever. So they start reading these books, and this one is about, he is Nashville Legends' second baseman. So he is a baseball player named Gavin Scott, and then he's got his wife, Thea, and they're having some marital issues. And so he goes to his group and they start reading some books to help him figure out how to fix his relationship. So it's something I've never read before. Like, that's definitely a whole new idea of a plot for romance, but I have had that book forever and I really want to read it. And then we have Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. I have already read like half of this book. I have related some stuff already. I want to finish reading it now. I had to put it on pause for my video that I've been reading for right now, but I really want to get to this one. So this is about Alexis and Daniel. Alexis is a nurse, doctor, something. I think she's a doctor. And she's older, he's younger. He is a small town country boy who is also the mayor of his town, so that's fun. But it's their little cutesy romance. There's a goat, there's a dog. It kind of runs an inn, which is really, and gives me Gilmore Girls vibes, and it's Gilmore Girls season, so. Our fantasy. It looks like there's not a lot. There's actually a lot more than I have right here. But first off, we have Ignite Me by Tahara Mafi. It's the next book in the series. It's book 3, and I need to read it, so it is on here. Can't really say much about it. It just keeps following Juliet and her story. Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. I want to read all of the books, so all 4, because I've never read any of them before, but this is the first series that I want to read this fall. I'm sure you all know what the Hunger Games is. So then we have this one that makes it look small, but it's actually really big. Series. I want to read the whole Throne of Glass. So this is the first book in the series, but then this is the first one that I have been reading. I have read 2 of the short stories from this book already. I need to buy the new cover of this one because I own all the other books in this cover, so I need to get this one and these covers. But I would like to read this whole series. It's a really big series. I think it's like an 8 or 9 book series, but I want to read them all by the end of the year, but hopefully in fall. So yeah, I don't know what they're about. It's about an assassin, I know that much. How it expands to be like 9 books, but I've heard better things than I've heard about ACOTAR, so I can't wait to read that. Now we have our fall themed books, more so I guess. So it's mysteries, thrillers, thrown into this pile. So first up, we have How to Sell a Haunted House by Grady Hendrix. I've never read any of his books. I've had this one for about a year now, and I wanted to read it last fall. We're hoping I can read this fall. I think it's about these 2 kids who inherit their parents' house, and they're trying to sell it, but it's haunted. I like to go into my mysteries with like no information, so I'm giving you no information. And then we have The Haunting and the Twin to Preston. These books aren't related, they're just by the same author, and I want to read both of these. What I know is about they've lived apart with their separate parents, the twins' divorced parents, and then something happens to one of the parents. The mom dies, and so the other sister has to go live with her twin and her dad, and some weird stuff starts happening. And I actually have no clue what this one's about. It's The Haunting. Penny knows she must forget about her ex Nash ever since his father was revealed as a brutal serial killer who traumatized their small teen. Penny's parents have forbidden her to have anything to do with Nash or his family. It's hard not to think of him, but she's trying. That stops when she goes shopping with friends for a costume. What she finds instead is ripped from a horror scene. Someone from school bleeding out on the floor of a dressing room, stabbed. People are quickly to blame Nash and his sister Grace, but as Halloween nears and the body count rises, Penny can't help thinking this copycat killer is someone no one else suspects. So, that one does sound very interesting, and that's definitely going to be saved for Halloween time because it talks about Halloween. Grandest Game by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. Could not remember her name for a second. Weird. But this is the newest book by her. It is about 2 completely new people who are somehow related into the actual story, but I don't know anything about it. I don't want to know anything about it. Is it white? White book? Whoa, okay. So, this is going on the TBR, but I don't know anything. I don't want to know anything. I'll just go into it because I love this series. That's what I guess. And then we have The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides. This is about a lady shoots her husband and then stops talking. And so she's in this psychiatric ward and they're trying to figure out she won't talk. And this dude comes in and gets her to talk, I think. So that book has been on my TBR for a really long time too. Then we have Then She Was Gone by Lisa Jewell, about a lady who her daughter goes missing, and then this is years later, and now she starts dating this dude and something and his daughter. So that's all I know about that one. I like Lisa Jewell's writing. She's not like my favorite author, but I've enjoyed almost every book I've read by her. And then we have Family of Liars by E. Lockhart. This is the prequel to We Were Liars. And I read We Were Liars 2 years ago. So I want to read this one now. So this basically follows the parents growing up, which is amazing. And then we have, this is my final books on this series, on this thing. But this series by Holly Jackson. I have read every Jackson is released, except for this series. So this is next on my list. I have A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, Good Girl Bad Blood, As Good as Dead, and Killjoy. So I have read the first book actually before, but I want to reread it and then go into these, and then I also want to watch the show. So this is about Pip and her little investigation she goes through high school, college, all of it. So it's on the TBR cart, and now all the books on the TBR cart. So that is my fall TBR. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope it gave you guys some ideas for your fall TBR maybe. And if it didn't, just tell me what's on your fall TBR below, because I will add more books even though it's not realistic for me to read them all. I'll add them anyways. But like, subscribe, and comment down below your fall TBRs, which one of these books you're most excited for me to read, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!